Starting off this video in a different way. We're doing a workout first, then I'll show you guys the full day of eating. So stay tuned for after the workout. So we're hitting some chest today. Just 4 exercises for the whole workout. Starting with incline bench press. We're doing 3 sets of 10, and then we're going to do a drop set. So we'll be doing that for all of the exercises. After the 3rd set, you'll do a drop set until failure. Incline bench press here, make sure that you focus on a very slow eccentric on all the movements and a pause at the bottom for the stretch portion of the rep. I could typically do about 225 on the bar if I don't touch my chest, but ever since I've made the effort to go completely all the way down, I've seen a lot of growth in my chest, even though I'm not lifting as much weight. So I've been having to leave my ego at the door and focus on that controlled full range of motion on all my movements, especially incline bench press, aiming for 3 sets of 10. And then after the 3rd set, I'm taking the 25 off and doing just 1 plate and going for as many reps as I can. Moving to cable fly. With the cable fly, I like to have my chest facing the ground because it gives me more stability. Because when I'm standing up, I feel like the weight kind of pulls me back a little bit. So I can't really have as much stability. So when my chest is facing the ground, it helps me go heavier, so I don't move around as much. With this weight, you can see that my body's kind of lifting off the ground a little bit, but I'm still maintaining control. And also this position helps with a good stretch as well. Moving to a pec deck. I haven't done pec deck in a while, but it's actually a really good exercise when you do it properly. Keep in mind to keep your chest up as high as you can. So with the keep your chest up, you can isolate the chest to where you're going to be hitting your chest more than your shoulders, and set the adjustment as far back as it can go so you can stretch as far back as you can, because that's really the most important part of the rep. Now to finish the workout for the 4th exercise, we're doing an incline dumbbell press. And I found out that recently, finishing with compound movements has been a game changer for me, because first of all, my muscles are completely shocked by that because I just hardly ever do it. But finishing with a heavy movement, like a compound movement, like incline dumbbell press, is just a great finisher. Don't have to go as heavy either, so you can avoid injury that way. So I'm only doing the 60-pound dumbbells. I can usually go up to 100, even 110-pound dumbbells if I want to, like starting out with the workout. But when you're focusing on a good slow eccentric, pause at the bottom, stretch, and finishing the workout with this movement, you can go much lighter. Now, physique update, I'd say I'm about 8% body fat right now, just doing kind of like a lean bulk / maingain diet, which I'll be going over here in a little bit for you guys. But pretty happy with my physique so far. I feel like I'm still making some progress, considering I've been training for 11 years already. I feel like I haven't even reached my natural limit because I'm still learning every day about how I can improve my diet, training, recovery, all that good stuff. This full day of eating is going to be a little different. I'm just going to do a voiceover like this and just go over the whole thing for you guys really quick, just to make it as simple as possible for you. But I have everything right here. I'm going to put this screenshot of my meal plan, my exact meal plan with the calories and macros on the screen right now for you. And I'll put it up at the end as well, too. Total calories for the day is 2,280 calories. Protein, 263 grams of protein, 182 grams of carbs, and 41 fat. So meal 1 we got cream of wheat, which I have been eating every single day for the past like 2 or 3 years now because it's my go-to. Cream of wheat with 1 scoop of protein and a half cup of blueberries. I like to add different kinds of protein to it, but personally I prefer the peanut butter chocolate flavor from Transparent Labs or the oatmeal chocolate chip flavor. Those are amazing. So it's like my favorite meal of the day probably because it just tastes so good and it's surprisingly low calorie. This meal is only 300 calories, 35 protein, 30 carbs, and 4 fat. Next, just a snack between my meal 1 and meal 2 is a protein bar. This is also from Transparent Labs. Of course, I am sponsored by them. You know, you can use code JB10. Not saying you can only eat this stuff. If you want to follow my diet, you can have a normal protein bar. But I mean, I prefer Transparent Labs because their stuff is just the best I've ever had. Best supplements, best protein bars. It's all just the cleanest you can find. Probably the best quality I've ever had as well. This protein bar specifically is 270 calories, 15 grams of protein, 22 carbs, and 15 fat. For meal number 2, we have 7 ounces of lean ground turkey, and I use a specific kind of ground turkey. This is 99% lean, 1% fat. And this is kind of like a cheat code in my diet because this turkey is such low calorie, such low fat, and such high protein. Like, it's basically like protein powder. It's crazy. I use half a container of the Jenny O's. Yeah, Jenny O. The specific brand is Jenny O, 99% fat free. So half a container of that is about 55 grams of protein. Then you add 1 cup of rice, which makes it about 60 grams of protein, 30 carbs, and 4 fat. So that's 450 calories for my meal number 2. Meal number 3, we got a little snack that I've made for you guys before if you've watched my other YouTube videos. Another really tasty treat that I kind of look forward to pre-workout, which is 2 pieces of Dave's Killer Bread, and then I mix together kind of like a peanut butter protein mixture, which is half a scoop of protein, 2 tablespoons of PB2 powdered peanut butter. And I mix those together with a little bit of water and some sugar-free maple syrup. And then I put that on the bread, just treating it like peanut butter. Tastes just as good, but super high protein and really low fat because with PB2 peanut butter is like 80% less fat than normal peanut butter. And it tastes just as good. So it's my go-to. And then another thing is 8 ounces of Carb Master milk. Carb Master milk is also kind of like a little cheat code. It's extremely high protein, like 11 grams of protein for 8 ounces, and basically no carbs. So I drink 8 ounces of that with my sandwich, which that meal is 400 calories, 45 grams of protein, 50 grams of carbs, and 7 fat. Meal number 4, 7 ounces of chicken breast. This is post-workout. And 1 cup of rice. This classic bodybuilder meal. This is 500 calories, 60 grams of protein, 30 carbs, 7 fat. And to finish the day off, we got meal number 5, which is 1 scoop of protein powder, half a banana, half cup of Carb Master milk, half a cup of blueberries, and 2 tablespoons of that PB2 powdered peanut butter. That is 360 calories, 48 protein, 20 carb, and 4 fat. As you can see, I don't really have any vegetables in my diet, and I make up for that with a green drink, which I also take from Transparent Labs. I take that during my second meal, so 1 scoop of greens powder is added to that to make up for the vegetables that I'm not eating. But I recommend that you do add some. I love zucchini, but I've just been a little bit lazy lately, so I've just been going with that greens powder. And also, I do take supplements. So post-workout, before my meal number 5, I take a scoop of creatine, 3 multivitamin pills, and then I also take a couple fish oil, or specifically krill oil pills, and then some biotin, which just helps me have healthy hair and skin because you don't really get much biotin from just normal diet. Same with creatine. But yeah, that is a full day of eating. Simple, straight to the point. Again, I'll put the the screenshot of my specific meal plan on the screen for you guys. So we got 2,280 calories, 263 protein, 182 carbs, 41 fat. So my diet right now is basically a lean bulk, or in other terms, maingain. If you guys ever watch Greg Doucette, he kind of came up with that term, which I actually do go by. I've never actually gone above like 10% body fat in my life, and I've been able to build muscle slowly throughout 11 years of training. I've never had to bulk to super high body fat, and it kind of just depends on the person. So me personally, I feel the best at this body fat percentage, which I'd say I'm around like 8% right now. Some people do not feel good sub 10% body fat. In fact, majority of people feel better of a majority of males feel good around 15% body fat. So in my opinion, when you are bulking, you don't have to go crazy with it and get fat or anything, because at a certain point you can only put on so much muscle before just this is fat once you're in a caloric surplus. So I recommend maingain / lean bulk for everyone, because not saying that you should be sub 10% like me, because with my genetics, I just have low fat cells. I just feel comfortable at this body fat and I can maintain it. But most people, I'd say 15%, which you can gauge that basically by like if you can see your abs and once they start becoming visible, you're at about 15% body fat, roughly. So you can maintain that body fat percentage and just build muscle from there without having to put on any more body fat. And the way you do that is just find your maintenance calories, figure out how much your maintenance is. And you can do that by just eating like the exact same thing for a couple weeks and just look in the mirror and figure out if you're gaining or losing body fat. And then you just eat in a very slight surplus, maybe 1 or 200 calorie surplus, so you can build muscle without putting on too much body fat. So I personally recommend a lean bulk over like a dirty bulk or just a normal bulk. So I already tried a bulk and it didn't work for me. Maybe it does work for other people. It just depends on your genetic set point with like how comfortable you are at a certain body fat percentage. But if I were to give you a rough estimate, 15% body fat for most males is perfect to maintain while you're building muscle. Because if you do go on a huge bulk, maybe you might put on a little more muscle, but then when you cut, you're going to lose that muscle anyway. So might as well just feel good and look good while putting on muscle, in my opinion. But there's a lot of ways to go about it. Everyone is different. But yeah, that's how you maingain / lean bulk. And then if you want to cut, sure, you can, go from 15% down to 10, sub 10% body fat. And then once you're done with that, get back up to 15% body fat and continue building from there. But you don't have to go to 20, 25% body fat. You're not going to build any more muscle than you would at 15% body fat. That is my rant for the day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.